Hi everyone, this is Ryan Mauro of the Downingtomas Research Foundation, and this video is going to be a special one because we're going to be talking to our friend Andrew Jones, an associate of Downingtomas Research Foundation, who has been based in Turkey for I think over a year now, just overseeing the contacts and the meetings that are necessary for possible scientific work to happen at this theorized Noah's Ark site. Now, just to refresh your memory, I was very skeptical of this. I didn't pay it much time because there was a consensus that this was just a really weird geological anomaly. But then in recent years, there were scans done that stunned the people operating the machines who were not even advocates for the site or even devout Christians. And they said that there were features indicating it might be a man-made boat-shaped object. And so at that point, and upon further study, I decided to move forward and see what we could do to help with this project and find out once and for all, is this the remains of Noah's Ark or at least a man-made boat? Is it a random geological anomaly that just is coincidentally there and looks like a boat? Those are questions that we really want to answer, and so we're going to be talking to Andrew Jones in Turkey about this, but go to noahsarkscans.com, noahsarkscans.com if you want to donate to the project. All right, so Andrew, let's start with the location of the possible remains of Noah's Ark. How does that fit the Bible? And then if you could just go into some of the coincidences, because this has really caught my attention. What does the Bible say about the dimensions of Noah's Ark? And then what are the dimensions of this boat-shaped object?
Yeah, so in the Bible, we're looking at the book of Genesis, where Moses talks about the shape and the dimensions of the boat. And in the Bible, it says it was 300 cubits long. Now, there's a case to be made that Moses was using the Egyptian royal cubit, which at that time was like the metric system today. Everyone in the ancient world used it. And so 300 royal Egyptian cubits would equal 515 feet. Now that is the exact length of this boat formation here. And that kind of is what got a lot of people excited.
All right, now Andrew, some people are going to say that you're just estimating, like, oh, it's around the dimensions that the Bible says. Like, how precise of a match is this?
In fact, we actually brought a tape measure out here on my last tour a couple months ago, and we measured it on the ground, and we got exactly 515 feet long for this.
Now, we do know some people who have gone to the Noah's Ark site and measured it, and they've come up with the same numbers that you gave us, Andrew. So everybody out there, understand we're not just relying upon Andrew Jones for these numbers. Other people have been there and they've measured it. So it's quite the coincidence. Andrew, do you have any thoughts on what are the odds that this is a geological formation?
Yeah, I know. That's why a lot of people, including myself, are excited about this place because, you know, how could a freak of nature turns out to be the exact length of the boat and the shape of a boat? You know, it's not like just an irregular shape. No, we have this boat-shaped object that's exactly the length given in the book of Genesis.
All right, so you gave us a lot of information about the length, saying it's a precise match, but what about the width and the height?
And then in regards to the width, it is 138 feet at its widest point, which is wider than the biblical account, but one can make the case that as the boat decayed, it was splayed out and fallen apart. And again, some of the stuff you would have to check out once an excavation occurs. And then regards to the height, since we believe this is buried below the ground and we're looking at the top of it, we don't know how many of the three decks have collapsed down on itself or what is below the ground until we fully excavate. But just from the geophysical surveys, we're seeing material at the 20-foot level and at the 9-foot level. And so one could make the case that these internal structures, when you add them up, the internal height of each of these decks, they look to be spot on for the height of the boat as Moses gave. Again, some of this has to be verified from excavation, But it's amazing that we have this boat formation sitting here in the mountains of Ararat, where the Bible says the boat landed, and that is exactly 300 Royal Egyptian cubits.
All right, so there's one other part of the biblical requirement for the construction of Noah's Ark that I want you to talk about, and that's the 3 layers. The Bible makes it pretty clear that there are 3 layers to Noah's Ark. Based on your research and the scans, are there any indications that there are 3 layers to this object?
That is correct, Ryan. In the Bible, Moses wrote that there are 3 decks to the boat. And so that is matching some of the geophysical surveys done, especially the 2014 resistivity ERT scans, which we're seeing these 3 internal layers below the ground.
All right, so Andrew, you just explained that the scans indicate there may be 3 layers to this geological anomaly or man-made boat-shaped object. So we're really at 4 things aligning or more that really makes for a strong coincidence if this is not a fit for Noah's Ark, if this is just a geological anomaly. So we've got the 3 layers, the location, the dimensions, and the fact that it's boat-shaped. So we've got 4 things that are clearly lining up at this point. Let's add a 5th. Tell us about the tradition in the area. The locals refer to this area as Mount Judy. Can you explain the significance of that? Because there's an Islamic significance to this. So it's not just the biblical case for this location, but there's a traditional case and an Islamic case.
Now the locals do call this area Judy, and so in the Quran, the boat of Noah lands on Mount Judy, and so this would match even the tradition given in the Quran.
Okay, so now we're up to 5 things that align between Noah's Ark and this boat-shaped anomaly where Andrew is, right there in Turkey. So we're going to have more videos coming out very, very shortly, explaining some more of this research and some more of this data that lines up and why it's worth reconsidering this site as the remains of Noah's Ark. Because if you Google it, it appears as if it's an open and shut case, and that's where I used to be. I figured it was, but then I learned all of this, and that caused me to revisit my skepticism. So if you agree with me that we need to find out the truth about this site, go to noahsarkscans.com. And if you want to make a tax-deductible donation, you can go to doubtingthomasresearch.com, which also has a link at noahsarkscans.com. So really either site will work for you. And make sure that you subscribe to this channel because we're going to be releasing some more videos with more information about this and speaking with Andrew Jones. So thanks for watching.